The kind of cold that seeps through layers, biting straight through wool, hung in the air. That sharp, echoing kind of cold that makes every silence feel like a scream. I stood quietly at the threshold of the dining room, a wrapped gift in one hand, the other gripping nothing but restraint. The table was crowded, laughter spilling from smiling mouths, glasses chiming together, candle flames flickering off polished silver. Every seat was filled, even one reserved for my ex-wife, despite everything she had done. But none for me. "You can eat in the car," my brother said, like he was suggesting where to park, not where I should take my dinner. His tone was easy, like he hadn't just driven a knife in with a grin. His wife raised her glass and smirked behind it. "Why waste a chair on you?" I looked straight at her, then around the room. Not a single person met my eyes. It wasn't always like this. Once I was part of them. One of them. I built homes from the ground up, splinters in my hands, sweat soaking through my back, shirts worn down by labor. When our mother fell ill, I gave it all up. Sold off my gear, my pickup, even pawned my wedding ring to help cover hospital bills. And my ex. She cleaned out what was left of my account while I was patching up her father's leaky roof. Then disappeared with someone who probably never touched a hammer in his life. My brother, on the other hand, became the family star. Married into wealth, traded work boots for loafers, no socks of course. Suddenly, I was the one who didn't match the mood. Still, I showed up every year. Pressed shirt. Wrapped gifts. A fragile kind of hope tucked under my arm that maybe this time someone would say, "Hey, glad you came." But this year, I didn't just bring hope. 3 months ago, I uncovered something. A paper buried deep in old files, back from the time I helped him start his first business. Long before the designer coats and luxury office spaces. A small clause I'd added, just a quiet gesture to keep family involved. Turns out, that gesture made me a silent partner. And technically, it gave me 35% ownership. Since then, I'd been watching. Documenting. Turns out, the company had gotten creative. Phony invoices, shady shell vendors, clever little tax games. The kind of things you don't want someone like me to notice. Especially not someone you cast aside. So I waited. Collected everything. Every sketchy payment. Every cooked book. Tied it all up with a bow. "Take a look under your plate," I said. My voice was even. Too even. My brother blinked, confused, like I'd started speaking in code. Then, slowly, he lifted his fine china. The flash drive was simple, unmarked, metallic, and cold to the touch. Without waiting for him to say a word, I turned and walked away. Laughter, once loud and careless, caught in everyone's throat. Forks stopped midair. Someone whispered my name, soft and uncertain. Then the car door slammed shut behind me. The sound echoed, louder than all their voices ever had. As I reversed down the frozen driveway, my phone lit up. Mom calling. I watched it ring. Didn't answer. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Dad rush outside, slipping into the snow, calling something after me I couldn't hear through the glass. He slowed, realizing I had no intention of stopping. He looked smaller than I remembered. Worn. As if, in that moment, he finally recalled who had kept the bills paid when he couldn't. By the time New Year's rolled around, the IRS had come knocking. By February, his assets were locked down. His accounts frozen solid. His wife packed her things and disappeared before the investigation even kicked off. The house, with its heated floors and imported marble countertops, was listed for sale, no upgrades promised. He called me once. Didn't leave a voicemail. Didn't have to. I didn't return it. Not out of spite. Not because I despised him, but because some balances are settled in silence. And certain truths, real, stinging ones, can only be learned in solitude, when the winter air stings your skin and you suddenly miss the warmth you used to scoff at. Just last week, I spotted him outside a run-down strip mall, waiting by the bus stop. His coat didn't fit right, looked borrowed, and his hands were bare in the cold. He didn't notice me behind the wheel. Or maybe he did. Maybe he chose not to lift his head. Strange how life spins the wheel. He once mocked the grit in my hands, the thick skin earned from labor. Now he's out there trying to keep his fingers from freezing. This Christmas, I'll be in a cabin tucked in the woods, one I built from the ground up. The firewood is stacked high. A hot meal will be slow cooking. There's one chair at the table. Maybe I'll set out another if I feel like it, because I still believe in family. Just not the kind that leaves you outside, with dinner in a cold car. It's strange, the things people hide under plates. Sometimes it's a gift. Other times, it's a reckoning.